going to material design web page. We now have material 3, but I've tried to search for the Android app icons for material 3, but I really couldn't find it, so maybe they will add it later on. Anyway, this is the material 3. That's the latest material design 3. It includes all components. It includes Flutter as well, and it works with web for just fine. So it's the Google material design, and it's really nice. But for now, I'm going to use material 2 because I can't find the app icon for material 3. So for now, we have the Android icons, and starting from Android Oreo, icons represent your app on device's home and all apps screen. That's basically what we have shown in the previous video for the scalable vector drawables, which we allow starting from Android 26, which is Android Oreo. Alright, so there are some guidelines that you need to implement in the app icon when you're trying to design for the app icon. So launcher icons are provided to Google Play Store, so you will have a launcher icon for Google Play Store, so you need to be aware of that when you're trying to make your own app icon. It can be drawable or vector format. It consists of two component, background and foreground layers, and we will talk about the mask layer, which is another layer, but the most important one are the background and foreground because those are the main designs. And for the all layers must exceed base icon by shape 50%. So if you have like a shape in your foreground, then you need the layer to be greater than the shape by 50%. Alright, so OM requirements include that's just some information that I will show you later on, which has this OM mask, but is this like theoretical value? You will visualize what's written there in this version. Anyway, going down, we have the key line shapes. Those are the main shapes that we have. We have square, circle, and vertical rectangle, horizontal rectangle. Those are the main shapes that we have in Material Design version 2. So the square, if you want to specific height and width, those are the one, and you want the corner radius, which are this part. And for the diameter of the circle, it's 52 dB. And now for the vertical rectangle, the height is 52 and the width is 36, and we have corner radius of just 4 dB. And dB is the least pixel if you were wondering. And if you just rotate it by 90 dB, you will find the horizontal rectangle, which is the same as this, just rotated 90 dB. That's the shapes provided for the app icon. Now let's talk about the layers provided in making the app icon. Icon consists of two layers, foreground, background. Each layer can animate, receive treatment independent from other layer. And this is why it's being separated. That's starting from Android 26. I like to visualize it at right side first. So we have the base, which is our background, which is number 4 here. And we have the foreground, which is our app icon. And we have another layer which provide a shadowing to the foreground. So basically it has some kind of shadow here, and this shadow is optional, so it's actually up to you to implement shadow or not. And we have some kind of mask. This mask is used for the foreground app icon, and that's basically the design, and that's from front point of view, like 2D, and this one is like a 3D or 2.5D. So if you want just to visualize like this, it's fine. You can visualize like this, as long as you understand it, it's fine. And for the shadows, and it's kind of optional, if you want to add a shadow, you can have some specific types for this shadow. There are like opacity, X offset, and Y offset, and that's just for the designing stuff. And for the color, you need to refer to whatever you're implementing. So now for the edges and shaded, if you want to add edges, you can make it using this approach, and the specifications for the design for this tint and shade are as this one. And if you want shaded edge, it's gonna be this one, and it's just 1 dp below the circle or the shape, and this one is 1 dp above the circle. So now for the finishing layer, and the finishing layer is it's called this one, the second one. We provide some kind of shadow, if you want, that being placed onto the foreground, which provides this kind of shadow, and you will see how it's gonna look later on. And now for the OM masking, can apply its own custom mask if you want, and this is just like something that to visualize it, but I'm not gonna. Let's look how can it looks. So those are the mask shape that we have. Like we have circle, we have this rounded square, and this also rounded, but that's 4 dp, I think. And that's basically how the shape is a mask of the shape, which is our first layer above here. So that's basically our layout, and the mask is just cuts our layout specifically to what we need. So that's basically how can we make an app icon according to Google Material Design. And if you want to visualize the other look, the look of the design, you can fill it like this one.